Since the dawn of time, mankind has looked to the skies above and wondered. And it's this deep curiosity about our universe and place in it that has inspired many quests to explore and understand it. One such relic led us to Armenia, part of the former Soviet Union. We set off at 4 a.m. to reach the remote location at sunrise, passing through arid plateaus, small villages, and imposing terrain. As the sun started illuminating the landscape, we knew this would be a special exploration. This is Orgov Radio Optical Telescope, known as ROT-54, in Armenia's forgotten space center. The complex is situated 1,700 meters in elevation on the slopes of Mount Aragats in one of the most incredible locations. And from the air, it's hard to miss the main object of this site. Dominating the landscape and spanning 54 meters in diameter, this hemispherical dome is lined with 3,600 alloy metal panels. Each panel was hand-polished and calibrated to sub-millimeter precision in order to achieve the required accuracy for signal capture. A movable secondary mirror on the lower portion of the central structure provided a usable diameter of 32 meters for radio frequencies, and in the upper section, a 2.6 meter mirror optical telescope is contained within the counterweight. The site comprises several engineering, research and technical buildings all surrounding the telescope, which was carved into the rocky mountainside and lined with concrete foundations. Construction took 5 years, starting in 1981. While the main telescope is impressive, the real treasure of this location is the control center. The building spans 3 floors with a once grand central staircase that led personnel to the telescope control room. Its unique architecture and design went beyond what was required for a purely scientific station. The design was reminiscent of other Soviet cultural centers, and perhaps this was a reflection of the importance that scientific endeavors held for the Soviets. Its floor-to-ceiling glass windows provided a stunning view over the telescope and towards Mount Ararat. The control desks were the centerpiece, combining a large array of analog gauges to control key systems and positioning, in conjunction with computerized controls. The control room also boasts a stunning Soviet-era mural depicting elements of the heavens and the surrounding area, such as Mount Ararat and the ROT-54 itself. Thankfully, those who managed to visit this place have left it untouched and in excellent condition after 30 years. On the opposite side, the traditional Soviet wall of clocks indicating the times across key cities, Moscow, of course, being the most important.
Մենք կարողանում ենք ճանաչել ավելի լավ մեր տիեզերքը, հետազոտել այն հզոր երևույթները, որոնց մասին ինֆորմացիան գալիս է մեզ հեռավոր տարածությունից եւ երկար ժամանակ է գալիս մինչ մեզ.
The telescope was conceived in 1964 by Armenian professor Paris Herouni, who founded the Radiophysics Research Institute in 1971. He dedicated much of his life to scientific research in the areas of radiophysics, engineering, and astronomy, and was recognized by many Soviet awards, including the USSR State Prize. But the journey behind this incredible telescope was very long, taking 17 years to receive approval and funding. A real testament to Herouni's passion and dedication. The lower floors contained electronic equipment, such as signal processing and recording devices. Unfortunately, most of this equipment had been sold off over the years for its valuable metals, leaving behind a collection of empty rack cabinets and old cases. However, there were some nice detailed models of the complex. Okay, let's move on to the next building. This large anechoic chamber was once covered in these special tubes which absorbed radio frequency and other electromagnetic waves. Scientists would have calibrated and tested the antenna and receiving equipment within this room prior to installation on the ROT-54 main tower. Sadly, this building was in poor condition, with the roof leaking badly, and it appeared to have been fire and smoke damaged at some point. Inside were the full-scale versions of the track and crane models from the other building. These were used to hold and position receiver equipment during calibration. In the building next door, hundreds of glass mirror panel assemblies lined the floor and walls. Every room was filled with them, and the majority was still in excellent condition. The history behind these mirror panels is unclear. Were they awaiting installation on the second structure, or had they been removed and stored as part of a mothballing process to prevent damage to the delicate glass panels? Well, seeing as we've just seen all these panels, let's head over to the other telescope. Upon reflection, I'm not sure if this second structure was actually another telescope or an attempt at a solar energy generator. The decision to use optical mirrors instead of specialized metal panels raises these questions, and the design of this object was very different. Its construction was of extremely poor quality when compared to the ROT-54. Even so, I still wanted to climb it, but I had to be careful as I was exploring solo on this first visit. This is going to be the worst constructed thing I have ever seen. It's just bits of steel just welded together. Far out, that's bright. And down we go. There's no head clearance. Definitely didn't expect people to be coming up here a lot. Mount Ararat out in the distance. So this telescope was never completed. Obviously there's only a few mirror panels up, and a lot of those mirror panels that were in that other building would have been destined for this telescope, but obviously money and whatever other issues meant that was never completed. An incredible location. Black church. Beautiful. A few months later, I returned to Armenia and noticed many changes. The site had been used for a modern art exhibition. A large painted mural was now visible on the rear of the unfinished telescope, and much of the rooms within the control building had been cleared and converted into a space for events. They had also replaced the Soviet-era roofing, although this was urgently needed. The future of ROT-54 remains unclear. A lack of state or international funding and unclear scientific objectives have plagued the restoration attempts of this fascinating piece of history for many years. And it continues to sit dormant, still pointed towards the universe it once explored, yet slowly decaying. Its incredible design, control room, and location make it one of the most unique sites I've explored, and I hope it will be preserved and protected. While our time at Orgov had finally come to an end, Armenia still had many other places to explore.